Welcome to my video series, Talk Music to Me, where I'm talking to family, friends, artists, and industry players about any and all things music. And today I have my beautiful and amazingly talented friend Tammy, Tamara Gonzalez, but we call her Tammy for short. Um, so you're in the LA lifestyle, so I definitely want to dive right into that. So how you graduated and quarantine hit, things were weird, but how did this all transpire so quickly for you?
Yeah. So essentially, I graduated from Berkeley in May. And then sometime in June, I started co writing with my two friends, Perrin and Gabby, because we had never really written together before, all three of us in person. So we started writing songs, and the songs were just super quirky and were not basic enough to do for pitch. So because it was quarantine, we're why not? We'll just release the songs. Our five friends will listen to them. Nothing's gonna happen. And Perrin knew our now producer Nathaniel and asked him to do all the songs. So then we ended up putting out a 3-song EP, and it did really well, which we did not expect whatsoever. It got placed on a couple of Spotify editorial playlists, and we did everything wrong.
I heard you were on the highlights too. Your
Yeah,
photo was on the highlights of a independent artist.
yeah. We were the cover of Fresh Finds for our last single, Murder Party. But yeah. So our song Bev Hills basically popped off, and we were like, what the heck? Maybe we are a band. So if we officially decided to be a band in October, because as the song kept growing, labels and publishers started reaching out to us and was like, oh, what's
Wow.
going on? Tell us your story. Give us the origin story. And we're like, we're not even sure if we're a band yet. Um, so yeah, we were like, okay, do you want to do this? Because I want to do this. So we all decided to be a band. But it's also just really funny because me, Perrin, and Gabby are all songwriters first. So we never wanted to be artists, and now we kind of are.
It's like you're this whole power group of songwriters that now collectively you're artists, which is really cool. And I love the music that you guys put out. Beverly Hills was that was my favorite. I jammed to that song so hard. And that video that you showed me of the unplugged version of you singing it, I
Mm.
dream about that.
Aw.
It was so beautiful. So I love that. How, I guess, the process of you guys writing your songs, what is, because you're all songwriters, how does that really work? Is it you get into the studio and it's just you bounce ideas off each other? How does that work?
So, in the beginning, because we started over quarantine, we had never written together all together in person. So mainly we were writing over Zoom. Now, because Gabby and Nathaniel have been visiting LA, we've been writing together for the first time in person. Literally, first time I ever met Nathaniel in person was 4 weeks ago.
And he does all the production, all
Yeah,
the
yeah. He's
things.
our only producer.
They're amazingly produced, so he does a great job throughout the whole process. There's a lot of ad libs here and there, and the effects, and overall the production, the sound of the mixes. Do you each have a say in that part of the process, or do you kind of just let him do his thing?
Yeah, so usually how writing will go is we'll start, me, Perrin, and Gabby will have a concept. Well, first we'll be on Zoom for an hour to 2 hours, just going on some tangent about aliens or just weird shit. Um, and then we just end up saying a cool phrase that ends up being the title. And so we write all of the lyrics first, and we call it slam poetry. And then once we have a verse, a pre, and a chorus fleshed out, we end up going back and adding melodies. And Nathaniel's doing his little beep boop bops while we're writing, and making the soundscape fit what we're writing about.
Listening to your ideas and just okay,
Exactly.
putting them
And
down.
sometimes we'll be oh, we want this specific thing in there. Could you add this? And then if we were over Zoom, we would write it, and then we would do vocals and send it to him. Then he would send a bounce back, and we would give feedback. Like our group chat is like popping. We'll be like,
Mhm.
okay, fix this and this, add this, take out that. Like it's too much, too little, whatever.
I actually wish I had through my college career. I know, I'm sure it was the same thing for you. I'm going to get into that too, like your Berkeley experience. But the whole idea of it's different over Zoom, but the studio collaboration and things like that, I wish I got more time doing that. I got to, sit behind the soundboard and mess around with things like that. And I had some of my time recording and messing around, but it's got to be so much fun to just sit for hours with your friends and just write. And you guys, like, your songs are, but they're relatable. They're about trendy things. They're quirky. Like, I just listened to Murder Party and it's so dark but fun. And the Kill Bill vibes, like, it killed me. It had
Murder
Murder
Party,
Party.
it literally started because over like I think we wrote it like maybe like a day or two right before Halloween, and we were playing the Jackbox games.
My cousin was telling me about these. I don't know.
Yeah,
I've never played them, but
yeah, so they're like games that you can play through the computer with your friends, kind of like Quiplash, but there's a game called Murder Party, and it's like a trivia game, like, but if you miss a question, like your little ragdoll character like dies. So the name of the game is called Murder Party, and we're like, ah, that's a sick title. And then we ended up writing about it. We just made
yeah,
it about boys.
I love that. What was the part where it was like, you don't think I'll do it, but I'll go kill Bill. I was like, yes. Let the boys know.
Super aggressive. Yeah, so the song like blew up on TikTok and we have totally had to like preface like, "Hey guys, like we're actually not killing people. It's totally a song." Because the comments were like getting super like if a guy put out this song, like it'd be game over, like, just trying to do the whole like flip
That's
thing.
what the internet does.
Yeah. So, but it was actually really cool because there were some very like educated discussions in our TikTok comments. I think the first TikTok that like blew up ended up getting like, which is not like crazy, but it was crazy for us because like we're no one. Got like over 700,000 views or something.
Wow.
Just like crazy amounts of comments or like what the heck is
That's
going on?
nice.
Just insane. But I'm happy that it started some type of discussion.
Yeah, that's cool. Oh, ooh, that's what I wanted to ask too. The cover art that you guys choose. It's it's so quirky. It's like little collages, the brat
Mhm.
sauce and everything. Like who
Yeah.
who does the cover art?
So for the EP, like the first three songs that we put out, it was just like me, Perrin, and Gabby. Gabby like does like she actually knows how to do like Photoshop. So
That
me,
looks
Perrin,
really
and
cool.
Gabby, yeah, we would like pick out like okay, like we want the cover to be like this, and that. We would like kind of like draw stuff out, and then we just compiled like a bunch of like pictures and made it like a collage.
For
And
me, it like represents knowing you from high school and how you've kind of taken this different path, like fashion wise and just everything wise. It's such a cute representation, I feel like, of you. So it's really cute. And the Bratz dolls, love that in there too.
yeah, the rat stalls are iconic. But now with like the murder party release, we still like pick out like what we want the cover to be. Like we're very much like involved. But we've gotten a graphic designer, Marcel. My best friend Marcel, his boyfriend does graphic design. So he's been helping us with the covers now.
That's awesome.
Insanely talented. Like he
Get
came up
Jared involved.
yeah, love Jared. But he like came up with our logo and like he adds like all the stickers, just makes it look a lot more put together. But we still really want like our stuff to look like DIY. Like we never want to look like, somebody else is like doing everything for us because like we really are the like it's just us. Just
And
the
I
band.
love that. And I think that's really important, especially now the way the industry has kind of shifted. You can do all of this on your own. You
Yeah.
don't really need a label anymore to back you up. So I think it's really important that you guys are kind of highlighting we can do all of this. I mean, it helps that you're immensely talented. So that makes it easier, but knowing people, you meet people in college, you make your network. You don't need to go through the whole process like you
Yeah,
used to.
for
It's pretty
sure.
cool that you're all doing it alone. So, can you walk me through a day in the life of you guys out in LA?
The past month has been so crazy. Yeah, so usually well first off, our manager Sarah like has our days like planned out for us. Like our Google Calendar is like insane. But normally like I feel like when we were like super busy last week, we'd wake up between like maybe like 9 to like 10. We'd have like, a socially distanced coffee like somewhere, like with some label people or whatever. So we'd like meet with them, and then in the afternoon like we'll have like a session for like a couple hours, and then we'll like come back and just listen to like mixes, or like one of us will go finish up a demo.
So it's really like your full-time job now. You just jumped right in.
Yeah, it takes up all of my mental space.
Is that a good thing?
In like literally the best way. Like I would not want to be doing anything else.
I love that for you.
Literally, like the past like 2 days have been like a lot more chill, and I'm like, what do I do?
So much
Like
free time.
it was so weird. No, but today we were like not super busy. We got asked to do like some live stream performance thing,
Oh,
so we filmed for that. So that's why.
yeah, I was wondering what you meant when you said you were filming today.
Yeah, so this Instagram account called Bops and Bangers reached out to us, and they do like live stream concerts. So we did like a little mini set. Did
Really
two
cute.
songs.
Your LA activities, like, are you solely working on like not the main characters? Do you have projects like solo projects that you're working on?
So right now I'm just focused on the band stuff. Like I also do like other sessions just as like a songwriter, but it's mostly like songs that I'm trying to like pitch to other artists,
Right.
not for me. So I just do those and then the band stuff, but it takes up like all my time.
Yeah, I can't even imagine. Especially, you have to do a lot of promos and all the other stuff that goes into marketing. Not that you guys, seem to have blown up a lot anyway. My brother loves your songs too. He loves the group. So
Thank
I can
you.
definitely see you guys. It's so, I want to say radio friendly without making it sound basic, because it's not basic, but I
Yeah.
can 100% hear all of your songs on the radio, people bopping to these mixes. And it's very, a lot of them are very trap oriented, which I kind of like.
Yeah.
It's funky. And knowing you from high school, I heard a few of the things that you did as a writer, so your unplugged version of Bev Hills was, it was so cute, and it was Tammy. And then I hear how it turns out in the mixing, and I'm like, wow. So I'm
Yeah.
excited to like have that blow up for you guys and get some radio play. And
Yeah, thank you. We love like we want all of our songs to be like super catchy. We all love pop music. But clearly in the production, like you hear other influences, like that's Nathaniel, and like because all of us like we listen to such different things.
mhm,
It's weird that like we write together and like it all ends up falling with the same lane. Like it just ends up fitting so perfectly. But growing up, like we all listen to such different things, and the stuff that we listen to on like our day to day like isn't what we write, if
right.
that makes sense.
But I mean, music now, it's such a blend of everything. So all of your different influences like coming together is is it's like part of what makes what you guys are doing so unique. And that's important because I feel like nowadays people are just pumping things out, and it's nice to have new music, but
Yeah.
to have something different
Mhm.
is a kind of a breath of fresh air.
Yeah, I feel like sometimes I get sad when I listen to New Music Friday on Spotify. You just know what songs are there because like, whatever 10 major labels already have their slots ready for like their major artists. It's just
And
insane.
it's also a lot of the stuff I've noticed. I mean, for me anyway, I try to go on those and like stay up to date with the trending music. So I know, as someone in the industry, you should be on top of that. But I
Mhm.
feel like a lot of it is overproduced for me. And it's just too much, where I listen to not the main characters, and the production quality is so good that it's like you have all of these things going on, but it's not unnecessary and overwhelming. You know what I mean? So turning away from how this trend in the industry that I'm not loving. But I'm going to go back. I know you mentioned that all of you guys kind of want to be songwriters. You don't want to be artists. So you're still set on like in the future, you want to be solely a songwriter. You'll never see yourself really branching off as like a solo artist.
I think that was definitely like before the band. Like now that we're like doing it, I think it's very 50-50. Like I think we all want to be doing both. Like we love not the main characters, like want to keep doing it and being a band. But also like a lot of opportunities we've gotten recently to write for other artists and pitch is because they hear the band stuff.
Right.
So I think in the future like it's still going to be very 50-50 because I still want to work with like other artists and like not have to always
Yeah.
be thinking about, is this song for me? Like, I don't know. Like, does it fit? I like writing for other people as well. So I think that's all of our goals.
I mean, you went to school for songwriting. You prepared yourself for this, and the first person I can think of that kind of does that would be like Phineas.
Yeah.
He's one of those that like writes for a lot of artists, but he also has his own career as an artist himself. So it's
hmm
definitely possible, and I can definitely see you doing that.
Yeah, I definitely like Phineas, Amy Allen, like Julia Michaels, like Sasha Sloan, all songwriters, but also ended up like doing the artist thing.
Yeah.
Love all of them.
So, but you want to stick to songwriting because I have always loved your voice. In high school, I used to get so upset because you would be just like shy little Tammy and you never wanted to perform and show off what you had. And I was always envious of you because you have such the tone quality of your voice. It's definitely timeless, I think, and it's unique. So I have always loved hearing you sing. And whenever I hear the Not the Main Character songs and your parts come on, I'm like, that's my girl Tammy. So I could so see you having major success with your sound as an artist. But it's if that's not something you wanted to do, then
Yeah, I think I told Marcel this. Like, it's really funny that with the band stuff, like, obviously it's kind of made me, like, reevaluate. Like, would I ever want to do, like, solo artist stuff? I don't know. I feel like it would have to be, like, the right moment. Like,
that,
right now I'm pretty chill with, like, not, because I don't feel like I'm adding anything else to my plate. But also, I feel like the music that I'd want to make as an artist, like, I don't know what that would sound like. Like, I don't know what the sound is. Like, I know what the writing is, but I feel like sonically, I want it to be like timeless. Like, I really like want it to be like a good song, like something that will stand the test of time, I
that
guess.
is it's funny because me and Marcel talked about that also, or Marcel and I, that's the proper grammar, excuse me, about how, he sits with songs for months because he doesn't want to just make a song. He wants it to, like you said, stand the test of time. So, I mean, you're busy, you're already making moves. So, in your free time, you can just pump out your songs, develop what you want your sound to be, and I'm excited to see that develop for you because I'm always day one supporter right here. Anything that you do, I am there 100%.
And
Marcel also told me that you went to a writing camp with Taylor Parks and got to write with her. How was that?
it was insane. Like the fact that I was even there, I didn't understand why I was there. It was super fun though. Taylor does this writing camp called Burnout, and she like invites like a bunch of like artists and like writers, and it's like this huge like collaboration thing. I got to post up for like the very last day and just take a crack at it. So it was really cool. Like I wrote a little something, and Taylor and her friend Cameron like came in, like just did their little sauce and magic, and I'm like, wow, you guys are so good. Like obviously that's why you're writing for Ariana Grande, so insanely talented. I'm like, what am I doing here?
That's
But
definitely, I could see that being kind of intimidating, but your experiences at school was kind of like preparing you for something like that too, right?
yeah, definitely. Just like having to write on the spot, because when you're writing by yourself, like if you're like writing in your bedroom, it's different because like you can sit around for like hours and not have to like think of anything. But when you're writing for like other people, you're in a room with like three other people, there's more of a like time pressure. You're like, okay, like I need to get this done because you're not trying to spend like more than like 2 to 3 hours writing.
Right.
unless like you want it to be like a 6 to 8 hour experience, but most people are like trying to dip and go home.
You have to pay for studio time too, so
Yeah.
we talked about, the group and that progressing and basically so you see yourself staying in LA. This is like a definite thing.
Yeah.
And future plans, where do you hope to be down the road?
I hope in a year, I hope somehow like the band is signed to like our dream, like just our dream label, like have like a really good team around us. Already have a great team, but just like adding more people in
Yeah.
from like the industry side. I think we all would love to like be signed just because we want, like, we have so many ideas that like does require a budget. So we would love to have a little bit of backing. And also hopefully not only like an artist deal, but a publishing deal as well. Like we all want to be published writers.
Well, you're definitely in the right place. That's gonna that's gonna happen for you guys. I feel
Yeah.
like you're already like trajectory for success. So
Yeah. A publishing deal would just be cool because like I'm so excited to like work with up and coming artists or like even like artists that I love and like aspire to be. I would love to work with people.
plus, having credit on songs that are could potentially blow up and be these major hits.
That would be that would be insane. I don't even and like I can't even imagine, like I can't imagine being an Amy Allen and having these songs on like top 10 like Billboard. It's just so crazy.
You're in the right place. You moved to LA, and again, you're already ahead of the curve. So
I am not leaving.
you were meant to be there. You really were. It's a perfect fit for you.
I'll go back to New York for Christmases and stuff because I love Christmas, but
You got to get some snow.
exactly, just like a little dose, you know. I'm good for like maybe like 2 months and then back out here.
Yeah, but you can at least you can come back whenever. I'm sure Rosa misses you.
Oh my god, yeah.
So being kind of in the industry now, you're diving in. I'm gonna ask you like two ends of the spectrum. So the first part is what is something about the industry that really inspires you, or that what's something about the industry you love?
Okay, something I love, like
It
I
can
don't
be
know.
anything.
Okay. Something I kind of get jealous of like A&Rs, like people who do A&R because it's literally their job to like discover new artists. I think it's so cool that they just get to like listen new music and like search the deep web and like find like what's up and coming and see what's underground that like should be mainstream.
What we probably do, but as a job.
Exactly. Yeah. So basically like getting paid to listen to a bunch of music like
I think personally, and you're also living part of what I love about the industry is like the emphasis on collaboration. There's just so much collab in every aspect, and sometimes it's collaborations that you don't even know are happening.
yeah.
A lot of the time people see an artist, a major artist, and that's all they think happens, but there's so much, and now you're behind the scenes and you see everything else that goes into it. I think that secret world, or every other person that's pitching in, that's really fun.
No, yeah. It's also like I guess like now that I'm not like super in it, but like I'm dipping my toes in right now. Um, I I'm so I'm so impressed by artists who like are very hands on with their music and are like really like in the room, like in the trenches, doing the work and stuff. Just because I also see like how many songs, like the songs that I'm writing are like, please, I hope someone picks them, and it's all for pitch. Like these artists like don't even, some artists don't even touch them. They
Right.
just like sing to like whatever's been already pre-written for them. But I also can't complain because it's potentially employing me.
Right.
But it gives me an appreciation for like artists that I look up to, like Billie Eilish and like Phineas. I have a deeper appreciation for them because it's only them.
Right. I
But
didn't
they
watch the documentary yet, but I mean, I knew that she made that whole album in her bedroom pretty much, or in his bedroom, and just the two of them together. It's
yeah.
crazy to wrap your head around that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the other side of it would be, what would be your least favorite part of the industry, or something that you would like to see change in the future?
people getting compensated properly on streaming services and like just like songwriters like making enough money. It's just interesting that I think everyone deserves to be like paid fairly, but just like the like engineers and like studio people, like they get paid for their time there, and songwriters are also there doing the work, but they don't get paid to be there. They only get paid once the song gets cut and
Right.
is out. So it's like a lot of hours put in for like something that potentially like doesn't even end up, you know?
Yeah.
So
It's
it's just we froze, but we're back. So yeah, anyways, songwriters should be compensated properly. That's the whole point.
yeah,
Uh,
it's the whole idea of streaming. The business is constantly trying to keep up. I
yeah.
know the whole business model has been changed drastically in the past few years. So hopefully in the future, I mean, I know Apple prides themselves a lot, Apple Music, with, trying to pay out artists and independent artists, and Spotify's still trying to figure it out because right now they're making like no money for themselves. Like,
It's actually crazy because like now that I've been putting out music with the band, and we you know we don't get crazy streams, but like we get a decent amount of streams that it's just insane to like see how much like we're getting paid versus like how many like just to actually see it in the bank account
right.
what you end up getting versus like the amount of streams. It's so insane. I mean, again, luckily like you know I'm doing okay, but like this is some people's like only bread and butter, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. So hopefully that gets figured out because I agree. I give you so much credit as a songwriter because I've had my fair share of days where I tried, I get an inspiration and I try to write, and I have so many songs that I started and never finished. And the ones that I did finish, like I don't have the emotional stability yet to share that with anyone. So
Yeah.
I know, being around songwriters and seeing people write and trying to do it myself, how hard that can be. And it's a talent for sure, and it's not like just anyone could write a good song.
Yeah. I mean, also, I don't, it's deep, but in my personal life, I guess right now it's not that deep because I'm basically just like hanging out with my friends. Like that's literally what it feels like. It's just one big party, um, but we just get great songs out of it.
That's a plus because I'm bopping to them.
Yay!
Okay, so my last questions are, random fun questions. The
Mhm.
first one, I guess I'll ask for your top three favorite songwriters. I know you mentioned a couple before. So if you had to pick your top three.
So definitely Amy Allen, um, Sasha Sloan, more on like the artist side, but they still like write. I love Lemon Stella, Gracie Abrams.
I
That
just
way,
started getting into Lennon Stella, and I really like her. She
I love
opened
her.
up for Chainsmokers on their tour, I
Yeah.
believe. So
Mm-hmm. Because she
that's
had like a little feature, but I love them. Oh, and also more of just like on the songwriter side, also Ali Tamposi. She's great.
I'll have to look at her. I'm sure I've heard things that she wrote.
Yeah, she did Havana by like Camila Cabello. Like um, I think yeah, almost the entire like new Miley Cyrus album.
Okay, I like that, like a rock and roll type of vibe for Miley.
She's sick, and she's been around for like a hot minute because she used to do all of Kelly Clarkson's old stuff. But like now she's like she just has a couple cuts on the new Justin Bieber album. Like she's still like in.
The new J Beebs album, living for it.
I don't like some of
Uh,
it.
I didn't listen to the whole thing, but the ones that I have listened to, I really enjoyed.
Yeah.
But I love that your favorite songwriters are predominantly females. Let's go. We love female power. If you had to choose a dream collaboration, I guess you can do either songwriting or a performance, like as an artist. Who would be your dream collab?
So I feel like collabs that we always say for like the band stuff, we're always like Upsaw, Ash Nico, like Charlie XCX.
So like a similar, similar type of
Yeah, that's for the
vibe.
band stuff.
Yeah.
Me personally, I would love to be I would love to be in a writing room with like Gracie Abrams. Like if I like Gracie Abrams, like just have this super pretty like stripped back song and like I don't know, not
That's
that.
how I picture your sound too. Just like you don't need a lot, just your voice.
I love the music that Gracie Abrams makes. I feel like I would want it to be a little less sad though. Like I still want it to be like have a little bite. 'Cause, like
Some sort of happiness. Although like the sad
I
songs, when you get in your feels, you're like, ooh.
I think it's not that I want to be sad, but I also want to be angry. Like I can't be like completely sad. Like I can never take myself that seriously. Cause like at the end of the day, like my emotions aren't that deep. I don't know. Like
Let's get the whole spectrum of
yeah,
emotions.
exactly.
Something to please everyone. If there's a song that played every time you walked into a room, what do you think that song would be?
Oh my god.
I can't even
Like
answer this one for me.
is it supposed to represent like who I am as a person or just
Yeah,
like
like, what would you want your song to be? Like, you know how fighters, like boxers and the UFC fighters, they come out to a song. Like, what would yours be?
yeah. Like I have a Spotify playlist called like My Life is a Movie or like my soundtrack, like the whatever like Vogue video, Teen Vogue videos that they do with like big artists.
Hmm.
Um and I feel like it would have to be like Eventually by Tame Impala. Like it doesn't like represent me as like a person, but like I just feel like that song, like it would just if my life was a movie, like that would be like the main song.
All right. I like that. I like that
Like the
answer.
vibe.
If you could learn to play one instrument in a day, what instrument would it be?
Piano. Technically, I know how to play piano. I took lessons for like 7 years, and like I'm still a shitty player. But
You want to
if
be
I
like
could learn everything in one day, it would be piano because like I wish I was actually good at that or guitar. Like I'm mediocre at both of them.
I definitely would pick piano too because I feel like, especially with songwriting and chords going on in your head, being able to just like plunk it out. Mm.
Yeah, like I know some theory. Like it's not completely lost upon me, but I just wish it was like that. Like if I could have the brain of like Jacob Collier, like that'd be sick.
I don't know if anyone in the world has a brain like Jacob Collier.
Yeah, not at all.
His
Not
stuff
at all.
is insane, and he plays like how many instruments? Like every single one that exists.
Yeah.
My music theory is not there. It wasn't there when I was in the classes, so it's definitely not there now. But piano could for sure help me out with that. Was there
Yeah.
anything else you wanted to cover, while you're here?
Yeah, I'll just plug my band. You should go look up Not the Main Characters on Spotify. We have a new single dropping April 9th, but you can go stream our last single, Murder Party, while you wait.
Yeah,
Plug.
have some fun with that one. Well, I got all my questions covered. I love that I have a group of friends that I can geek out with over music, that you're doing some crazy things, and I hope to be as cool as you one day.
Or B.
And I can't wait to come visit.
For sure. Come visit sunny California.
Yes.
We have lots of places to sleep in our apartment, so
I'll sleep on the floor. I'm cool with that. I'll bring like
no, that's not even necessary. We have like a pull-out couch. We have like an extra two twins. Like you're set.
you're ready for me.
Yeah.
Good. So then I'm just gonna be like, hey Tammy, coming through.
Yeah.
Clear your schedule. Well, don't clear your schedule, but let me watch. All right. Well, thank you so much for this.
Of course, P-Max, you're the best.
I love you and thank you so much.
Bye.